A lot of people, when they look at me, they actually think I'm a bodybuilder. So you'd find I can do the same workouts as bench press, squat, shoulder press. Bodybuilders concentrate on building the muscle, so it's muscle-mind connection. Whereas when you do strongman, it's all about the amount of weight you can push. So we look at the amount of weight you can load on a bar. Bodybuilders look at the amount of weight you can build when you're doing chest press.
So I'm at Body Active Gym this morning and I'm joining Trevor Chingosho, who's our current strongman, Zim Strongman champion. Trevor, good morning to you.
Morning, how are you?
I'm very well. Now, Trevor, to start with, what is the major misconception that is there between bodybuilding and strongman athletics?
Oh, thank you for that question. A lot of people, when they look at me, they actually think I'm a bodybuilder. So you'd find I can do the same workouts as bench press, squat, shoulder press. Bodybuilders concentrate on building the muscle, so it's muscle-mind connection. Whereas when you do strongman, it's all about the amount of weight you can push. So we look at the amount of weight you can load on a bar. Bodybuilders look at the amount of weight you can build when you're doing chest press. So I'm a person who's doing currently 200 kgs on bench press, but I don't look the part. So when I tell someone I'm doing 200 on the bench press, they look like you don't look that big. Whereas bodybuilders, he can be doing 120, 140 kgs, but he's massive because he's building muscle. I'm building strength.
Strongman sport in Zimbabwe. What would be your comment as comparing to what's happening in the region?
Zimbabwe, we just got noticed recently because I would like to believe I was one of the first male athletes to represent Zimbabwe in strongman sport. So it's a sport that's growing and it's a sport that needs more awareness in Zimbabwe as compared to Zambia. South Africa have been doing it for a very long time. Zambia have been doing it for well over about 8 years plus. I stand corrected. Zimbabwe, this is the first time they've actually had one guy to represent Zimbabwe in strongman. So with the growth that we have, the current competition that we were supposed to go to in South Africa, we had quite a number of athletes going. So it's a sport that's actually growing in Zimbabwe.
Now, strongman, there's a lot of lifting of different things. But what techniques do you employ when doing the Atlas stone?
Atlas stone, it takes everything. You need to have a good squat depth, a strong back, and a very good grip, because we're trying to pick up a stone that you can't even wrap your arms around it. So good depth, good squat depth, especially when you are very good at wide squat, the sumo squat. That's actually going to benefit you when you do Atlas stone.
But this sport here, there's a lot of lifting that happens. How do you guys minimize injuries? Because imagine when you're doing the farmer's walk there, or you're doing the Atlas stone, how do you minimize injuries?
Proper training, because I myself do overload training and the proper technique. So when I'm training, before I lift, I have to position my body in a certain position, then go from there. And proper stretching, resting when it's needed. And because when you do competitions, they're just trying to push you to the maximum, and yeah.
But what separates, say, a dead weight lifter from a strongman?
With strongman, it depends on what technique where they're going. So you'd find if the competition requires reps, I have to deadlift a certain amount of weight, let's say as many times as I can. And a deadlift, you're just doing one rep till you get to your max. So that's where the major difference is.
So how do you decide when to push for maximum points versus conserving energy in a competition?
To be honest, when you're competing, you just have to give it your all. because I actually thought my maximum deadlift was 300 kgs, but I got proved wrong when I went to South Africa and I actually did more. Being with other athletes, you just have to focus and just go and give it your all. You don't have a right set or don't to say, this is my max, I'm done. You just have to give it your all. Yeah.
But Trevor, how did you get into this sport? Did you start in bodybuilding? How did you ended up being in strongman athletics?
I came from rugby. So I'm a rugby player. I've got one guy that I play rugby with. So he came to me and he said, Trev, you're already lifting heavy. Why don't you do strongman? I do watch strongman. And I was like, nah, it's not my thing. I'm doing rugby. So I got injured when I was playing rugby. So I took some time off. Then that's when they were having the Zim strongman competition. So I said to myself, I've got nothing to lose. Let me go. I'm already lifting heavy. So I might as well do something to enjoy lifting heavy. So I went through the competition. I registered under 105. But I managed to win the whole competition overall. That's how, so from there it just stuck on. So I'm now a strongman athlete.
Oh, he is a rugby player, and now he's Zimbabwe's strongman champion. What position did you play in rugby?
I started off playing rugby as a winger. I play center, so I'm a center. But they say I'm too physical to be center, so they make me play eighth man flank.
Oh, okay. Now, the competition that you have already competed in, both in Zimbabwe here and outside of the borders, would you just want to just take us through them?
In Zambia was my first international competition. That was a challenge. That's the competition that actually made me change my whole training routine. Zambia had what they call a Zamcab. So a Zamcab is a wheelbarrow, but it's an extended version of a wheelbarrow where you load from the normal wheelbarrow, then that extension. So when you lift it up, if you can't balance, that thing is going to take everything from you, your core, your arms, everything. So that just got me a very good insight to what actually strongman requires, and the log press. That was quite challenging. Starting weight for a log press was 110 kgs. That's overhead press. Then when I went to South Africa was good. I'm very good at deadlift. I major on deadlift. That's one of my good lifts. The second event we had was to pull a truck. So, you know, when someone is driving a Volvo and Outros, you look at a truck and you think, okay, and we're pulling a truck. So I was like, it's okay, let's go pull a truck. Then the twist to it, you're not pushing a truck on a flat surface. It's 30 degrees incline. So you're pulling a truck on an uphill. Man, that took everything out of me. But mentally I was there, I was prepared. I mean, I went through it. So yeah.
So, now what would you want Zimbabwe to know about a strongman sport?
There are no limits. People are the limits. I mean, it's a sport where you have to lift a heavy object. How you lift it, they don't care. Lift it and move it. There are no limits. So a lot of people, when they see me train, especially in the gym, and I invite them to strongman, they say, no, we can't do strongman because of your weight, because of the weight you lift. Strongman is categories. I'm 105, then there's 105 over, then there's 120. So everyone in their weight category will lift a certain weight in their weight category. So everyone can do weight strongman training. Everyone should come through. The training is fun. I think you just saw the training. It's intense. You start off, it's intense, but when you go on to it, go to your first competition, trust me, you get hooked.
So many of you, maybe you might not really understand this sport, strongman sport in Zimbabwe, but many of you, I'm sure you know Chido, the Zim Strong woman. Now, he is Trevor. He is the champion, champion 105 and above. 105 and above. All right. Now, Trevor, this year, 2026, what does it look like for you? The competitions that you're going to be taking part in, what do they look like?
So last year when I went to Africa's Strongest, I came 5th. I need to get onto the podium, at least 3rd, 2nd, 1st. That's a doorway for me to be able to compete for the world's strongest. So already, Africa's Strongest, I'm recognized. This year's competition, I'm more of fixing my technique because I've been working throughout. I've been working on certain techniques, and because I don't have the right equipment to work with, I just, makeshift my training and makeshift with what I have to keep going. So I'm trying to I'm working on perfecting my technique, boost my strength, and aim for Africa's strongest to be on the podium. Once I'm on the podium in December, I should be there on the stage to world's strongest.
World's strongest indeed. What role does nutrition play in this sport, Trevor?
So before I train, I have to eat. So a lot of people will say to me, "You're a person who's been training, and you're a personal trainer. Why are you eating maybe rice or a lot of carbs?" You need carbs before you lift. You need that energy. You need your protein, and you also need to drink lots of water for recovery. Because lifting heavy weight requires a lot of energy in maybe the next 5-6 seconds. So you need to build up. How you eat, when to eat, and when you train is very important. And after you train, after maybe for a competition, what you then eat after for recovery is also important.
Yeah. Very lastly, Trevor, what would be your message to other people who are like you? You were a rugby player, and a friend invited you to just come along and try it, and you ended up now doing it, and now you are the Zim champion. What would be your message to other people out there?
You're your own limit. You're your own limit. When you go, the atmosphere will take you there. Because a lot of people are limited when they look at something and say, you know what, I'm comfortable here. Strongman, there's no comfort zone, and don't be limited by what people say. Come and use whatever you have and you are your own limit. You're only limited by what you think you can do. So if you don't try, if you don't come through and go to do it, you think that's the most you can do. Yeah.
Very, very lastly, how has this sport changed your life outside of the gym?
I sleep a lot. To be honest, there are things that I'm doing that I couldn't do. Like I can casually, when somebody is on the roadside and they need to jump their cars, like, oh, come, let me push it. They're like, no, we need people. It's like, no, let me do it by myself. So in my strength, I'm also doing it to help people as I go through. Yeah.
Very, very lastly. Trevor, is there any appeal because we know that most of these sports, they are so resource intensive. Yes. When you start doing it, you need your proper diet, you need proper training, you need proper everything. Is there any appeal to the corporate world out there, to willing individuals out there, regards or also the competitions that are upcoming to you?
Yes, well, we are looking for sponsorship. The last competition that we were supposed to go, it was a team. So it was not an individual competition. So you'd find most of my team are not financially stable. So, and with what was happening in South Africa, so obviously we had to fly to be safer. Using a bus was not an option. So, we couldn't meet the financial target that we wanted. Number two, we are training for raw strength. So when I then compete with other people that are training out there, these guys are training with the right equipment. So they have the techniques. So sometimes, from my experience, I'm using a lot of energy in trying to figure out how I can lift an object, whereas I should reserve my energy if I know the technique. So if anyone is willing to hope through, where we are looking for sponsorship to actually buy the baseline equipment for strongmen and actually grow the strongman sport in Zimbabwe. The advantage right now is already we are crossing borders. So if we get sponsorship, a brand gets awareness internationally, because currently we have international competitions that are happening. And the reason why we don't take up most competitions because we're not there financially to be able to be traveling in and out. Yeah.
So there you have it, Zimbabwe. You can join hands with Trevor and Strongman Association in Zimbabwe in the work that they're trying to do, and you also empower people that are moving sport upward. I've been chatting to Trevor, Zimbabwe's Strongman.